daily damage. Now, this is a test. We're gonna do a full stream here, but the truth is, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm using several pieces of software that should theoretically be streaming this to YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, which is Twitter, and Twitch. Now, the biggest mystery of it all for me is how I'm going to see the comments and if they're even going to show through. And I was also told by the tech support team who helped me set this all up that it takes a good 30 or 40 seconds to even get the notifications that I'm live on all the different platforms. So for me, that means that this first minute is just going to be saying hey to everybody and letting all the streams pick up. I'm going to see if I can check the chats by clicking this button here in the corner. All right, here's the thing. I don't know if this is working. I also don't know how I can see the chats. I thought that I was able to do so. I'll have to look into that. Today might be chatless, but I'm gonna go through a few questions that were asked by the community, and what I'll do, I'll commit to going through the comments. If you reply on Facebook, I'll reply back. And if you comment on YouTube, I'll really try to go through those and reply as well. So, the first thing is we had a few questions from people in the Absolute Tabletop Facebook community. That's a community that I'm a part of. We're a part of a publisher called Absolute Tabletop. Join us on Facebook. I take questions from the community. I just pull them straight from the feed and then answer them here. So, the first question, I'm actually gonna hide under the shade of this tree for a second and see if I can get the comments. Also, if any of you are friends on Facebook, will you just send me a message letting me know if this is actually working on the platform of your choice? That would be fantastic. And then let me try one more thing here. I get the sense that I'm supposed to be able to see notifications here and I can't. So we're at 2 minutes 44. So hopefully this is working. If not, I'm still going to get some exercise and I'm using my brain. So there's no downside. The first question comes from Mikhail Keys. Mikhail Keys simply asks, and I'm truncating these messages because it's simpler. So usually when I read these, there's way more to the post, but I'm just distilling it. He says, what are your dice rituals? And you know, it made me think, I used to be very particular about my dice. I used to use certain dice for certain characters, and I used to keep them in certain places. And I find that as my schedule's gotten busier and busier, I feel like I've just become more and more utilitarian, where I'll just grab any die and roll it. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if it means that I've let go a little bit, or if it means I need to tighten up. But I don't have any dice rituals per se. Like, I don't put my dice in the penalty box. I don't, blow on them or anything like that. But it just did really highlight to me what ends up happening when you have a child and you're starting a marketing company and you're also publishing books. It becomes very much like, just grab some dice, grab a D4. I don't care what color it is. The ritual has become more finding time to play. That's the ritual. But I want to know what your dice rituals are. Do you have anything? Do you have a dice penalty box? Do you do, a certain set for certain characters, anything like that? I would love to know. The second question is John Marin, and John says, hey Tim, or anyone in AbTab, can you give us a copy of the Drift Chapel map with no names on it? So what is the Drift Chapel map? If you're watching this, Absolute Tabletop, the publisher that I'm a part of, we just recently published something called Adventure Kit Shadows over Drift Chapel. What this is, it's a Lovecraftian flintlock fantasy build your own adventure module that is set in a world of Gloam. And the world of Gloam is a campaign setting that we created, and it's based around the seaside town of Drift Chapel. Drift Chapel is it's a beautiful map that was made by John Pintar and Alexander Kostic, and it's labeled. And the way that an adventure kit works, it gives you the locations, it gives you monsters, NPCs, and encounters, and it gives them all to you in pieces, broken up so that you can combine them in any way you want. The names of the locations that we provide are on the map. And so basically, what John's saying is, hey, can we get a copy of that map without the names on them, so that when the players are exploring, I can reveal the names and have a little bit of mystery. I think that's a really good idea. And I think that should be something we can do. Alexander Kostic and John Pintar should have copies of that map without the town names on them. I just wanted to know when your game was, because I don't know how soon we could do it. If we did do something like that, I'd have to talk to the other three guys, but we would want to make it available to everyone. So essentially, probably make an announcement and obviously give you a link to it, but make it something that's available to anyone who wants to do the same thing. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't know if I like not having any chat, so I have to figure that out. I'm going to really work on figuring that out, but to me, that's the coolest part, is that we're hanging out. I don't want it to just be a talking head video where I just basically could be doing this in a vacuum and then posting it. I don't like that. Matt Click posted, and he said he's been watching a really cool show that he turned me on to called Genlock, and he basically said that it's inspiring him for a mecha hack game that he's running. And mecha hack is a system that Matt wrote and Absolute Tabletop produced, and it basically it's a rules elegant, beautiful little system, and he's running a mini campaign in it. So the question was, what are you watching that's inspiring you? Genlock is really fueling his mecha hack game. And for me, I'm reading George R.R. Martin's The Hedge Knight. George R.R. Martin he's just an excellent writer, in my opinion. He has such a way of describing things very simply and letting things move along at a good pace, where what's important is not necessarily what's happening, it's who it's happening to. And so it's really helping me as we continue to write our campaign setting guide, A Dead Man's Guide to Dragongrim. Just bearing in mind how, I guess, George R.R. Martin focuses on the little things that matter. One of the things that stands out to me is a serving boy comes up to a knight, and the knight takes note of the whiskers that are just coming in on the side of the boy's face and makes a comment, and the boy's a little embarrassed. And then the knight makes a comment about how, he remembers when he first got his first hairs under his nose and he almost nicked off his nose with a dagger. And that scene just stuck with me because it had nothing to do with plot. It had nothing to do with the greater world or the politics. It was a moment between two people, and it just mattered. And he showed character in it. And so as we're writing A Dead Man's Guide to Dragongrim, and especially as I run games, those moments are some of my favorites. And so it was really just a reminder, and that book's inspiring me, that what makes a game feel alive are those small moments and the attention to detail that you have person to person. And that's the kind of stuff that I remember for a long time to come. So Matt, that's my answer, which is A Hedge Knight by George R.R. Martin. I actually just finished it this morning, and it's a sad one, but it's a really cool story. And so, yeah, that's my answer. Final question was Rafin the Gray Farmer, and this again is in the Absolute Tabletop Facebook group. How do you go about setting up gods for your settings? My first answer is going to be as a game master, not as someone who publishes books. Okay? As a game master, my first go-to would be use one that already exists, because it's just easier, and it's, especially with players who are experienced, they're going to know who Paylor is. Or use a real-world Pantheon and just hijack it, whole cloth, and even change the names. Okay? Now, as a world builder, I'm going to give you a different answer. And so, as a world builder, I'm going to say, again, though, this is a hack. This is not a book author. So this is more like, hey, I want to build my world. Where do I start? I want you to take all of the classic alignments in Dungeons and Dragons, and then I want you to write them out on a piece of paper or in a spreadsheet. Then I want you to take the colors of the rainbow, just the general colors, okay? So like purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, black, white. Assign them to each one of the alignments. My recommendation is subvert, making black chaotic evil and so on. Just pick random colors, okay? Now you have the deity's alignment and their sort of color, or their, you know, their vibe, and that would be their sigil or whatever it is. You can be very literal and say that the clerics of this god or goddess wear that color, or you can be very figurative, and if it's yellow, it could be sun. If it's green, it could be, you know, in most cases, the rolling hills, or maybe in your world, it would be the sky that's green. From there, I would then just type in fantasy name generator, and there's this website. It's like a blue generator with all these yellow hyperlinks you can click with different names. Go there, click on the hyperlink, and then just randomly generate a bunch of names, drop them in there, and overall, that is a really good place to start. From there, I would then find a Wikipedia page with, say, like Greek or Roman gods, and I would kind of just get the high concept and go, all right, cool. I would then copy and paste the descriptions of the ones from the Wikipedia page near or under the gods and goddesses. There you go. And then you can even go to Pinterest and type in, you know, crests or sigils, and then just look for different crests or sigils, boom, and then drop them in there. That's it. You've got yourself a Pantheon. I think that would take probably cozy 30 minutes, and it would be unique to your world to a degree, and that would be a good starting point. So hopefully that helps. Anyway, I think that is all that I have for today. There's one final thing. Again, this is a test stream. I don't know if anybody's even still watching, but I'm going to keep streaming because I want to keep walking, and I wish I could talk to everybody. So I'm half tempted to jump on YouTube. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to jump on YouTube just so I can interact with everybody and get your thoughts. So I'm going to end it here. I'm not going to do a toast because this isn't the end. I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to jump on YouTube real quick and do another quick stream to get everybody's feedback, see how it went, and go from there. Anyway, until next time, may your dice roll high.